In 2024, I think it was 2024 maybe. Yeah, it was 2024. Early 2024, like January, February, something like that. I was on the phone with my Ivi Nunia, and I had my phone plugged in at the counter in the kitchen, and I was talking to her. And when I reviewed that video after we were talking, and she was just telling me that I'm the worst mom ever, and that she doesn't want to see me ever again, and then she, et cetera, which she's not wrong for. She's not wrong for saying and feeling those things. The part that I'm being careful with, though, is the fact that we're dealing with something a little bit more serious, and so it's not as it seems, where she just appears to hate me and not want anything to do with me and wants me to go and go get lost somewhere. I don't believe that. I don't believe my Ivi Nunia actually hates me. I don't believe she hates me. There's the situation that we've been dealing with. It's caused us both a lot of frustration, and that's not okay. And that's the reason that I'm speaking up and out. And I am standing up for us. I'm standing up for me and my Ivi Nunia, our life and our right to be happy and our right to have a family and to have one another as mother and daughter, which is vital to me and my life as her mother. She's my one and only daughter, my only child. And I'm pretty sure, whether she doesn't say that as much as she might want to, that I'm her mother and that I'm vital to her and her life and her well-being. I see the ways that I benefit her, that Ivi Nunia benefits from having me as her mother in her life. I see the way that I contribute to her life and her well-being and her overall health, and the way that I promote that. And it is not okay for the corrupted government and the corrupted family court system that is obviously interested in trying to extract and extort money from us by having me show up every 6 months to file another petition, another motion, etc., etc. These judges that sit up that sit up there in their robes, and either approve or deny motions and petitions, this is a very highly paid position. Is it as valuable as it should be? In my opinion, from my own personal experience in real life, not valuable. They've affected our quality of life, which is taken away from us, and that's not okay. So why is it okay for you to make a judgment that's not fair, not just, it's not proper, it's not even legal, really, if we could really consider the way that they try to compose an entire pile of case of nothingness against me. For example, in one court report from a social worker, she said that every visit I scream across the parking lot, and that's annoying. Also, did not mention, though, the way that when I yell across the parking lot, Ivi Nunia, and the way that I'm not even gonna cry because it's replaying in my head that moment. The way that she would turn around and be so happy and run to me and hug me. And I knew that she was so happy and so excited and always looking forward to seeing me. And she would draw pictures and bring me pictures and things. And of course, I carry a lot of guilt with that she even had to endure any of those experiences. She should have never had to be in court. She should have never had to be in visits. She should never had to have her freedom restricted and her liberties and her rights restricted for something that I did. That does not justify or excuse anybody else's response or reply to something I did. These people are supposedly better, right? If you're a judge, you're supposed to be better than I am as a normal human being because you're superior and all the rest of it. So I'm not going to carry the guilt all the time and all the blame and be okay with being thrown on the bus all the time, because those people could have shown her better than what I gave to her. If I am the homeless, drunk, bum, unemployed mother, then those people should have showed her a different way. Instead, they kept blackmailing her with her visits with me. They would tell her that she was so lucky and should be so thankful that they rescued her and saved her from all this, etc. The traumatizing experience that she endured with those people is not even equal to the supposed basic needs of home, shelter, food, water, education, all of those basic needs, which she was already being provided all of that in the best way with me. She, as I said, number one stand is another TikTok account of mine where I highlighted her educational status and the way that she's excelled academically despite all of the challenges. You got to think about waking up every day, Monday through Friday, every single day, getting to school 7 a.m., going through that 3 p.m. After 3 p.m., she had after-school activities, extracurricular activities that she excelled at as well. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of strength. That's a lot of resilience. That's a lot of championship characteristics that my daughter exuded during a time that was the most challenging time for a little baby girl. A little baby girl that was experiencing things that would have crushed any adult man or woman. My little Ivi Nunia excelled. Academically, excelled physically, excelled mentally. She excels because that's what she's made of. That's the quality of her character and her characteristics and her mental, physical, emotional strength. That's her name. Ivi, in the Tongan language, Ivi is strength. It can be communicated as energy as well. It has two meanings. It's one word, three letters, and those people in the education, teachers and students and peers, could not even pronounce a three-letter name. Ivi. They kept calling her Ivy, Ivan, Eva, that kind of stuff. Her name is Ivi, I-V-I, and it literally translates into strength and energy. That said, and that being like a fact and that truth is all great, right? We're still human beings, though. I'm a human being. My daughter is a human being. She's not expected to be a robot. She's not expected to be without things that she's supposed to have, her essentials and her needs as a human being, as a growing, developing child in her formative years, frontal lobe developing. She deserves to have all the support that any growing child is supposed to have. Children, it takes a village, supposedly. She's been without a dad, a father, and without a mom and a mother for years. And the people that have supposedly stepped up to say that they have what it takes to fill my shoes failed miserably. Those people failed miserably. And so anytime that anything goes wrong, whose fault is it? Yeah, the one that's responsible for it all. Mother, me. So anytime that anything is occurring, my Ivi Nunia, she was experiencing things that she was not talking to me about, and I had to decode the language, and I was reacting to behaviors that I didn't recognize of her as my daughter. When she was saying things to me, doing things that I couldn't understand. What is this behavior? I learned from studying our Snapchats and all of our videos and our conversation and studying our texts, there's something going on here. She needs my help. I have to help her. I had to understand we're not enemies. I'm my daughter's best friend. She's my best friend. There are signs here that tells me she needs me. She needs me as much as I need her, and I need to understand that whenever I'm starting to feel personally offended or like that she's attacking me. She's not attacking me. When she was on the phone with me in 2025 telling me you're this, you're that, etc., I just listened and I cried and I've apologized so many times, and this is like a cycle that I want us to end, the cycle of reuniting and then arguing over something that we can't even remember what was about. But she remembers everything that I say, and so now I've learned how to be careful with my words because this matters to her as a growing, living, beautiful human being. She deserves to have memories, good memories, memories that support her to develop completely, memories that give her good feelings and happy feelings of her mother, good memories. And it's a lot that there's a lot of irreversible damage that people would consider like childhood traumas, a lot of irreversible damage. But the way that we're so beautiful and resilient, and although we're human beings, I just believe in us so much to really conquer those challenges. I believe in us. So, and the reason why I'm highlighting 2025 is because I was looking at my video and I said, that looks like I'm talking to her like she's somewhere overseas. She's literally in the building next to me. I could literally yell out the window and she could hear me from her window. And so I just got an email from her, and she's like making these demands of these high amounts, etc. And she's actually really good at communicating. And there's like an urgency about it that made me want to respond. And if I could, I would satisfy those demands, and I understand that the way that we're dealing with everything, we have to be incredibly careful with one another. There's jealousy, there's hatred, there's people that are trying to do things behind the scenes, etc. So we have to be very careful. And we talked about going to the BTS concert, which is a beautiful memory that I'm not going to stress out about because I'm going to be a happy giver and creating that memory with my Ivi Nunia. With that being said, I've made a care package. I'm creating this care package to give to her. She's not in the military. She's not in the service. She doesn't owe anybody anything. She doesn't owe me anything, and I don't owe anybody anything. And so I'm just not letting anything be negative or take away from us no more. And I'm creating this care package to remind her that I love her, that I'm here, and that OMG, my mother was right about everything. We've always been able to maintain our sense of humor, our connection, the purity of our love. I love us beyond. I love us above and beyond. I'm so happy that we have one another in this lifetime. We're rich in all the ways that count.